NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has found something so strange, so shocking, that it could change everything we thought we knew about how black holes are born. And it all started in a way no one expected, not with a loud cosmic explosion or a bright flash in the sky, but with a tiny, quiet signal hidden deep inside the data, a signal so small it almost went unnoticed, like a soft whisper in the middle of a noisy room. And this signal appeared when Webb was looking at one of the oldest galaxies in the universe, a faint little galaxy so far away that its light had been traveling for more than 13 billion years just to reach us. A galaxy from the time when the universe itself was still young, still forming, and the scientists thought they knew what. They would see young stars, clouds of gas, maybe a small black hole just starting to grow, but instead, what Webb saw made their hearts race, because right at the center of this baby galaxy was not a small, new black hole, but a giant, supermassive black hole. So huge it was billions of times heavier than our sun, and this made no sense at all. Because black holes are supposed to start small, from the death of a big star, and then slowly grow over billions of years by eating gas, dust, and stars, but this black hole was already massive in a galaxy that had barely formed, and the only way that could happen was if it had been born big, fully grown from the start, which went against every rule the scientists had learned. And as Dr. Elias Marlowe looked closer at the data, he noticed something else, something even stranger, near the edge of the black hole, in the area called the event horizon where nothing should be able to escape. There was a faint shape, a distortion in space, and it didn't look random like normal space noise. It looked neat, organized, almost like it had been made on purpose, and when his colleague Dr. Hanna Voss zoomed in, they both saw it more clearly. A spiral shape, glowing faintly, sitting where no light should be, and then the impossible happened. The spiral pulsed, not like a star flickering, but with perfect timing. A steady beat, as if it was alive, and when they measured the timing of the pulses, they found something that made them stare in silence. The pulses matched prime numbers. Numbers like 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Numbers that don't appear in nature by accident, numbers that intelligent beings might use to show they are alive and thinking. And the scientists felt a chill because this could only mean one thing. Either something inside the black hole was sending this signal, or the black hole itself was part of a machine, something ancient and unbelievably powerful, sending messages across the universe, maybe for billions of years. And as they kept watching, Hanna found something hidden in the signal, a second layer under the prime numbers, and when they removed the first layer and let the computer process the second, an image began to appear on their screen. First just dots on a black background, then lines connecting the dots, and suddenly they realized it was a map, a star map, and when the computer compared it to known stars, their stomachs dropped because the map was pointing to a place not far from the Milky Way. And right at the center of the map was a strange symbol, a perfect circle split into two halves, one dark, one glowing, and around it were smaller dots like planets in orbit. But it was not our solar system, not any star system we knew, and before they could even discuss what it might mean, the pulses from the black hole began to slow down but grow brighter, and the spiral shape near the event horizon became clearer, looking less like gas or light and more like a giant structure made of something darker than space itself, twisting inward forever, and then one pulse flashed brighter than the rest. And in that flash they saw something they could never explain, an image of Earth, not as it is today, but as it must have looked millions of years ago, with no cities, no lights, just oceans, forests, and clouds, and then it was gone, replaced again by the slow, steady heartbeat of the signal. And in that moment, every scientist in the room knew two things: that whatever was sending this signal knew about Earth, and that it had known about us for a very, very long time, and then the final part of the hidden message appeared on the screen. Not numbers, not a map, but words. Strange symbols no one had seen before, yet somehow everyone in the room understood them without being told. And the meaning was so shocking that no one spoke, 3 simple words that felt like they echoed. Inside their bones, "We built you. We built you." The words stayed on the giant main screen of NASA's control room as if they were carved there by something far older than human memory. And for a long moment no one dared to breathe, because it felt like the air itself had turned heavy, thick with a meaning too large to grasp all at once. And in that breathless silence, Dr. Elias Marlowe felt an icy shiver run down his spine. The kind of shiver that doesn't come from temperature, but from a deep instinct in the bones, the one that tells you you're standing at the edge of something that could change everything. And in that frozen instant he thought of how those 3 words were not just a strange message. They were a rewriting of every story humanity had told itself for thousands of years about where it came from. Because if something out there had built us, then every religion, every science theory, every history book was suddenly incomplete, maybe even wrong. And before he could even try to process it, the spiral of light near the black hole pulsed again. Brighter, slower, almost deliberate, like it knew they were watching. And the James Webb's instruments picked up impossible readings, gravity fluctuations that didn't match the known mass of the black hole, magnetic fields twisting like ribbons, bursts of radiation that should have fried any electronics but somehow didn't. As if the signal itself was protecting them, and as the spiral's pulse grew, the light didn't just shine. It stretched, bending unnaturally, reaching across the void like a hand, and the moment it touched their visual feed, the computer, screens in front of them began to glitch violently. Lines of static tearing across the data, strange patterns replacing star maps. Symbols flashing too quickly to be read, yet somehow too precise to be random. And the strangest thing was not what they saw, but what they felt. Because every single person who looked at the screen felt those shapes moving inside their head. Like someone was writing directly into their minds without using words, without using sound, skipping all the usual paths and going straight to thought. And Hannah, standing just to Elias's left, gripped his arm so tightly he could feel her nails. Through his sleeve, whispering in a voice that was both afraid and certain, "It's not just a signal, it's contact." But contact with what? A civilization so advanced it could bend light? A machine left behind by something long gone? Or, and this was the thought Elias didn't want to finish, the black hole itself, alive in a way they had never imagined? No one had the chance to answer because the spiral light suddenly collapsed inward and the screens cleared, revealing not empty space, but the star map again, only this time it was moving, zooming in with dizzying speed, crossing light years. In seconds, homing in on a cluster of stars tucked deep in one of the galaxy's darkest corners. A place so far from the main spiral arms that astronomers had once joked it was the galaxy's attic. The kind of empty space where no habitable planets had ever been detected. And yet here the map stopped, the half-circle symbol reappearing dead center, and underneath it, new words burned into the feed, "Come home," and Elias felt something twist in his chest because the words didn't read like an alien instruction. They felt like a voice from long ago, the way a memory calls to you in dreams, the way your name sounds when it's spoken by someone who has known you all your life. And then, just like that, the feed snapped off, the spiral of light gone, the black hole back to its silent darkness. But even as the signal faded, the James Webb picked up something impossible, another pulse. Fainter, almost hidden in the cosmic noise, but identical to the one they had just received. And it wasn't coming from that distant galaxy near the black hole, it was coming from inside the Milky Way itself. And it wasn't delayed by light years, it was perfectly in sync. As if whatever was out there was also already here, waiting, and in that instant, As every scientist in the room leaned toward their screens, hearts pounding in their ears, Elias knew that the search they thought had started years ago had in truth only just begun. And if the thing that built them was calling them home, then, maybe, just maybe, humanity had never truly been alone. It had only been sleeping, waiting for the moment to wake up, a moment that had now arrived, and this time there would be no going back.